Hello and welcome to Meet Your Inspiration podcast with Mary and Rich. Here we're talking about inspiration, motivation and empowerment. Our guests are ordinary people who became extraordinary, and we're sharing their stories who want to empower you to become the person you want to be, to go beyond your dreams.
Our special guest this morning is Mr. Sam Wood. Sam is one of the directors of Letterverse, and he's also a director of two other companies. Sam, multiple entrepreneur and shareholder in a few businesses. I'm sure you've got some amazing stories. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Cheers.
Thank you. Where did we meet Sam? You met him first?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. We met on a networking event, I think.
Yeah, it may have been here. Possibly.
I think it probably was.
Yeah, it was definitely here together. I'm not sure if this was the first time we met or not, but yeah, we just started chatting. Yeah. So what was that, sorry?
You were making scones here.
Yeah, terribly. Yeah. I did. I did try. I did try my best, but yeah, I think it was definitely one of the networking with a different events that we met.
It wasn't a cookery course.
No. I won't be doing that again. No.
Actually, it's. Are you doing a lot of networking?
Yeah, I mean, the main one we do is networking with a difference. So every month I try and get to that one. And there's a couple of others. We're based down the historic dockyards in Chatham.
Yeah.
And they host quite a few events, which are really good. It's a balance. I think it's important to get out there and meet new people, but then also run the firm at the same time. So, we try and get to as many as we can. Yeah, I do enjoy them. You always get something out the back of doing it, so... Yeah.
Okay, before we get to, I'm really intrigued to know a bit more in details about exactly what your business is, because I think you've got a really interesting formula how you work. And we know West Kent Shooting School is already your customer client.
Yeah, no, it's we are one of our hosts, yeah.
But before we get to that point, we'll need to know a bit more about you and your journey to here. So we'll take you back in the time. When you finish secondary school?
Mm-hmm.
It starts before then, I think.
Oh, yeah, your story starts when you were 13, 14?
Oh, when I started work?
Yeah, okay. So we start from there. Your first steps in working.
Yeah.
Normal people start at 16. Sam started.
No, well, I don't know if I was meant to be working at 14, but so basically, I think with my parents, they've always said, you've got to get a job, you've got to work, and being that age, it was good to have my own money, basically. So, I started washing cars down at Tesco's. Before, now you get a lot of the machines and stuff like that, and they're everywhere. But back then, there wasn't that many. So in Larkfield, I started down Tesco's washing cars every Sunday.
But is it that kind that when people come and park and you just go and ask them, what do you want to wash your car?
We'd polish it and hoover it. And so I'd done that for 3 years.
On your own?
No. It was a guy called Mark, I think. Can't remember now. No, there was loads of us, in Tesco's car park, and did that for 3 years, and obviously in all the holidays and stuff, I'd then pretty much be down there every day. So that was the first time I started getting money of my own, and that was hard work,
How was the feeling when you went the first?
Well, I felt rich, So I think on a Sunday I'd earn £35 on a Sunday plus a few tips, so I was loaded. I was 14 and I was
14
earning
with £35 in your pocket.
I got £40 a week. I was living at home. I was brilliant. But it was nice then if you go out and if I bought a T-shirt, I wanted to go to the cinema. It was nice that I could actually do what I wanted with my own cash. So that was my first ever job. Yeah.
What this journey 3 years doing that on that age teach you?
It was just the fact that. It's just nice to have my own money, really, and that's when my philosophy started of just trying to be the best you can at whatever you do. So back then we used to have competitions of who could wash a car the quickest, and we actually had like records up on the wall, which seemed like a silly thing at the time, but it kind of instilled into me. Do you know what I mean? Like the more cars we could churn out, the more tips I got, and that's kind of stuck with me, really. So everything I've done, I've tried to be the best. I don't think you can ever be the best. There's always someone out there that's better than you. But that's something that's stuck with me, really. So
but that's obviously for you, it's not that competition in terms of just to be the best and that's it. It's that constant try to do the things better and better, which I think is quite that is lifting the people, isn't it?
100%. I think there's people out there that they are better than you, and I think there's a million different ways of doing things, and it's important to stay open-minded and try new things. Even if you're always better, you don't know until you've given it a go, basically.
That reminds me, I listened Olympic medalist. What was his name? I share with you the guy that Steve
Buckley.
Yes, when he was saying in his career in the beginning, because for me, coming from Bulgaria, I didn't know about his journey here, but it was very interesting when he said that he was obviously really good, and at some point he just said, "Oh yeah, I'm really good," so he didn't push that much trainings, and on the next Olympics or whatever competition was, people overtook him, and then he had one of his best lessons that doesn't matter how good you are, you constantly need to improve and help yourself, because very quickly you will be behind because someone else is doing.
I agree with you 100%. I think complacency is quite a dangerous thing, really. So yeah, you've always got to be wary of your competition, and I would say it's not about being the best, but it's just being the best that you can be, basically.
And how was, I assume as well, you learned discipline, because you were going to school and then you may want to play with your friends, but you need to have the discipline. Yeah,
to be honest with you, I enjoyed, probably looking back, I probably enjoyed working there on a Sunday more than I did going to school, to be honest with you. So I had like an amazing tan. This bit was like so tanned, but the rest of me wasn't. So, but the complacency definitely came in for me at school. So, I went to a grammar school, and I think in year 7 I was certainly intelligent enough to get there, and one of the smartest people in the school. And then by the time I left, I definitely wasn't, and I think that was again where I thought I just breeze it, and I was smart enough to get my way through, and I didn't put enough effort in at school, and other people got smarter and actually read the books that they should have read and did the homework they should have done. So by the time I left, I completely wasted that opportunity. In hindsight, I think I wasted that opportunity, to be honest with you. So when I left school, I didn't give myself the best chance that I could have had.
But it doesn't limit you. That's the one thing that, as your story will develop, it goes to show it. A lot of people think, okay, it gives you the introduction to the next level, whether you go to A levels in university or wherever it is you go. But actually, there's no limits to what we can achieve.
No, definitely not. No, and I think I say to my wife all the time, there's an argument, should I have gone to uni or not? Or if you go back, would you do it differently? I'm not sure I would, because I think my personality, I don't think, even if I went back to school, I would do anything differently, because you think you would, but actually you just get back into the same routine and do exactly the same thing again.
Did you do A levels after you finished?
Yeah, so did A levels. So I finished in year 13, but came out with 3 C's. So I did, again, I go okay, but should have done way, way better than that. So when I left school, I was just completely lost, really. I didn't know what I was going to do. And
did you do the subjects that you were really interested in at that point?
Yeah, at the time I told everybody I was going to be an architect.
Right.
So I kept telling everyone this story about I was going to be an architect. So I'd done maths, English, and art.
Yeah.
And physics AS level. But I know I was never going to be an architect. Like, it wasn't even, so I barely looked at any unis, half-heartedly applied for a few unis. But in my mind, I was never going to university. I hadn't even looked into the student loans or the accommodation. So I was never going. And my grades weren't good enough in the end to do it either. So I think I just told everyone, I think I just convinced myself I was going to be an architect, but with no plan on how that was ever going to actually happen.
Maybe it wasn't that much willing that you wanted to.
I think so. I think I just went with a story, because this is a real generalisation, but it tends to be that if you go to a comprehensive school, you would maybe gravitate towards college. And at a grammar school, the expectation is that you will go to uni. You know, and there was only a few that bucked the trend, if you know what I mean. Didn't go to uni and went to college or straight into work. And I think I felt like I was going to go to uni like everybody else, but that was never the reality. That was never going to happen.
So where your path took you then? After?
I ended up being. They're going to wonder why I'm on this podcast. I ended up being so I was a lifeguard at the time.
Okay.
So I ended up being a full-time lifeguard. And that I just was doing that full time.
Were you a big swimmer as well? Obviously, when you weren't washing cars.
Yeah, I was good enough at swimming to save somebody's life. So I wasn't like a really, really good swimmer, but I can definitely swim.
You enjoy what you were doing? Did you choose or the job chose?
No, I was doing that part time again through A levels, And then that was my only job. So I ended up just going there full time when I was 18 because I didn't have a clue. Like all my mates left to go to uni, a couple went to college, a couple went into apprenticeships, and I just had no idea. So I just become a full-time lifeguard. Nothing wrong with being a lifeguard, but I just had to do something. So I ended up doing that.
It's challenging when you don't know where to go and what to do, isn't it? What about these places that you can go and have these career fairs and etc.? None of them were any kind of help at that point, or
how do you mean? Sorry.
You know where you is it in the school you've
Yeah,
got this career fair?
Oh,
or
okay.
at least nowadays they've got it. I don't know. Before,
I know what you mean.
Just to give you a clue what can be something you would love to do, or
yeah, I feel that was really lacking. If I'm honest with you, careers advice or whatever you want to call it. So there was no real. I think I don't know if it's changed now. But when I was at school 20 years ago, it was almost like you're good at these subjects, so this is what you should do. But there was no link to what that meant in terms of a job, and they never told you how much that job actually was in terms of a salary. So it wasn't like you should do X, Y, Z because you will earn this, and if you do that, you won't earn as much. It was almost just like you're really good at art, so you should become an artist or a tattoo artist or something like that. So that was really lacking, and maybe that would have helped me a little bit if they had said, "Do this and you will earn X amount." That might have triggered me to kind of.
And how did you feel on that time when your friends obviously were going in different directions? What about you? Did you have this?
I just felt I was the only.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, I just felt I was the only person that didn't have a clue what I was gonna do. Like my best friend always wanted to become a builder, and he's done that. So he started off doing joinery, and then others went to uni knowing what they wanted to do. On the whole, most of them had a plan. I just didn't have a plan.
Out of curiosity, nowadays, do you know what's happened with these people?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's happened with them? Are they all doing what they believe back then, or how they are in?
No, that's a good question. No, I think some have definitely, similar to myself, have adapted and changed over the course of time. I think some of them having a degree has helped them because it opens some doors that you need a degree to apply for those jobs. And others, I guess, are trapped in a way. If you qualify in a trade, you are trapped in that trade. So I think there's strengths and weaknesses to both. I think it's good.
If you put just for a second, you think where you are in life, I assume you are kind of same level. How you find yourself? Yeah,
definitely. I mean,
it's not like just like because when I look back, and I don't know why, but all around people I know, if you look, lots of time people who didn't do really well with school, or they were like just not interested. After that, very often they overtake everyone in life, and they become. That's why it was just out of curiosity what's happened if different people took different parts, and 20 years later, how it looks.
I think in my group of friends, there's vast differences between some of them, and I think the problem is, and I try not to let myself do this, is if you have a conversation with your two richest friends, then you feel like you've done a terrible job in life. But if then you might go out tomorrow and have a beer with two other mates, and you're suddenly like doing really well compared to them. And I think the danger I think it's really dangerous comparing yourself to other people. I think all you can do is try and do the best for yourself and your family, and just that's it really.
You're always going to be in someone's eyes, you will be the best and much better than them, and of course there will be people who will be above you, which is good.
100%.
That drag us to be best of us.
And you see famous people, and I think like football players, earning X amount of money a week and all this sort of stuff, and it's just like fair play to him. Do you know what I mean? Elon Musk, fair play to him, But then you look at that complete other end of the scale, and then you compare yourself to people in those situations. So I think you can only look at yourself. And
there's one good thing in life that's really clear for me is that happiness doesn't level with how financially well you are, because there's a lot of people who are incredibly well off but very unhappy.
The people who doesn't have much, they're much more happier.
Yeah, they are, absolutely.
And I've found as well over the years is somehow if you do earn more money, you don't have any more money left. So I say to the wife, like, you might end up with one more bedroom, or you might end up with a detached house rather than a semi-detached house, or you've got a slightly better car, but you never actually have any more liquid cash. You somehow spend it. So it's always this chase to try and earn more. But actually, sometimes if you think, what if I just spent a bit less, it'd be the same net difference.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so.
So after the lifeguarding, where did you go?
So my dad was like, you got to get a career. You got to get a career. So then I joined. Well, I applied and got into the Kent Police. So was fortunate enough to get in first time when I was 18, and again didn't do any research into that at all. So I didn't even look at the shift patterns or the requirements or nothing. But yeah, so I went to Canterbury Uni to learn my police, the law part of that bit that I had to learn, and then I was in the police for 3 years.
Okay.
So I think that was till I was about 21, 22, I think. But that wasn't for me, So again, lack of research really. I thought it was a career for life, and you can retire early and stuff. But for me, it was difficult with the shift work.
What you were doing exactly in the police?
I was on the beat. I was on the beat. So yeah, a police officer based out of Tunbridge. So just responding to emergency calls, obviously, and all of that. So it was amazing in terms of it teaches you so much. You see stuff that not anyone else would see, and it teaches you how to be calm and logical, and in different situations. So I did learn loads, but I just didn't see myself doing that for forever, and I didn't want to get trapped. I thought if I'm in here for another 10, 15 years, that would be me. That would be the only thing I ever do. So and I probably wasn't the right person either to be a police officer. It takes a certain person and very structured in and outside your life as well. Very much, you're on call 24/7. So I made the decision. Yeah, I think I left in 20 when I was 21, 22. Yeah.
How until now? I absolutely love it. Honestly, what do you do?
This is going to take ages to go through. This
that's amazing.
I'm trying to remember my CV.
That's what we are here. But during these times, your parents, what was their role? Did they ever been there to advise, to say something, or they just let you to make your decision?
No, they're both. My parents are brilliant, honestly, and they've never forced us to do anything. Their only philosophy was always you've got to work, you've got to stand on your own 2 feet. But they've never said what that looks like. It's like my dad always said, when I was younger, you've got to do a sport. So I don't care which one you pick, but you've got to do a sport. And if you stop doing that one, that's fine, but you've got to pick up another one. So yeah, I mean, they were really good in what they,
What was the sport you were doing?
Well, it varied loads, obviously, but
you try everything.
Yeah, I did jiu-jitsu, swimming, diving, athletics. I was really good at athletics. And then eventually rugby was the one that
Is there anything nowadays you?
No, so I had a really bad rugby injury when I was, I think, 27 down in Folkestone. So I'd really badly done my knee, bad. Wow. And that was the last game of rugby I ever played. So it limits me a little bit in what I can do now. I couldn't ski, so I wouldn't be able to go to Bulgaria and ski, or squash. Wouldn't be able to do squash. So anything sideways is a real problem for me. No, I try and keep relatively fit. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
The biggest one now is getting out on the bike with a little one. That's what I love doing. Yeah, little bike rides.
Yeah, that'd be good. One child? Or?
No, I got two. So I got one, Maya's 6.5, and then Hudson's 1. So
really cool.
Spend time with family. Have you?
Yeah, during the week's difficult with work, and but yeah, whenever I'm at home, I'm there. Do you know what I mean? So I try
to detach from work and to be focused on.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not one of these people that if I'm with them, I'm not on my phone. Me and the missus don't watch telly. If we've got the kids, we don't watch our telly's not in the background. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if I'm there, I'm there. Yeah. And if I'm not, then obviously I'm not. So but the wife's amazing. So
it's good to be present in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
The worst thing is when you see the kids say, they want someone's parents' attention, and the parents are just wait for a second because I have.
I think it's really, really difficult. But I think you can find yourself with the kids saying all the time, just give me 5 minutes, wait a minute. And sometimes it's just just be with them, Yeah.
Do you want quickly to take us then to where you are, but what else you did? I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
quite
Well, no. After that, really, it did start to kind of. There was more of a theme, if you know. So I went into sales. So I started selling sweets out the back of a van for a wholesaler.
Okay.
To like local convenience stores. So I had like a
Okay.
patch, and I'll drive around selling my sweets and chocolate. And that's kind of then when the sales.
How did you find initially when you start sales? Because for me, sales always sounds.
It really
Very
scared
scary.
the life out of me, to be honest with you, because I'd never sold anything before. But then when I realised, like in the police, I think talking to different people and positioning things and persuading people to do what you want them to do,
Yep.
whether that's through force or diplomacy or whatever you want it. So I actually kind of fell into it quite easily, I think, in the end, by applying what I learned in the police to selling a product.
Because it's an art of communication, effectively, and by
This is it.
communicating in the best way, you can influence is probably the right word.
Yeah.
The decisions of the people around you, and that's helpful.
100%. I think it's the same as the police. If you don't want to arrest somebody, you've got to persuade them to get in a cab.
Yeah.
If you do want to arrest them, you can arrest them. And
Yeah.
it's the same. I just took that kind of philosophy in sales, and then I'm not the best salesperson in the world, but certainly over time, and again listening to other people and trying different things, I think I've got better and better. Still not the best salesperson in the world.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love selling. I love it. I love talking. This is quite good for me. But no, I love talking. And when somebody buys your product or your service, it's like the best feeling in the world. Do you know what I mean? So you can get 100 no's, and then you only need to get one yes, and it resets everything.
Were there any rules about the sweets in terms of you were like?
I got so big. No, I don't know if that's what you meant, but honestly, when you're driving around,
what I meant.
no, when you're driving around, it wasn't. I end up selling like soft drinks and crisps and stuff. But when you've got a van full of chocolate, it is lethal. Like, and you get samples. Like it was. If you're hungry in the van, you was in trouble.
Yeah,
real trouble. So luckily, if the more the shops bought,
the better it was.
Yeah. No, that's when I hit my head. Obviously, for rugby, it was quite handy. But that's when I hit my heaviest.
Well, if you wanted to bulk up, you had the right job.
Yeah, well, I stopped being on. I had to move from the wing, and I slowly moved inside to the scrum because I was getting a bit chubby. But no, it wasn't good. No, that wasn't good. No. The more I sold, the less fat I was. So yeah, that was an incentive to sell more and more. So so basically, I started selling sweets on a van, and then became the supervisor and then managing the team. Done a couple of trials. That company went bust in 2018.
Okay.
When I think it was mainly to the tobacco laws coming in. P&H was huge for tobacco, like supplying to Tesco's and stuff.
Yeah.
So that didn't do the company any favours. And then the cash and carry basically restarted the model. So I just started that, for same thing for a different company. And then I left there in about 4.5 years ago when my brother rang me up. That's when we started to do the companies that we do today. Yeah.
Let's talk about it because I want to know more about it.
So you're involved with 3 businesses.
Yes, yeah. Today it's 3 businesses. Yeah. So it started off with Keenwood Limited, which was a shop fitting construction company. Yep. So Liam had started it and kind of knew where he wanted to take it. And I think when I joined him, he had, I think it was two clients and about 12 guys, give or take roughly. So he rang me up and he said, "Look, I need some help. I want you to join. If you don't, I need to recruit." So so that was a conversation basically.
And that's your brother.
Yeah, that's Liam. Yeah, so Liam set up Keenwood, and then he set up the further companies as well. It's always been Liam's kind of ideas, and then I've helped him with the companies. So it was a bit of a gamble, to be honest with you. Like one, working with your brother, but secondly, I was kind of quite comfortable and PAYE, company car, usual sort of stuff, pension and all this sort of stuff. And we was all right. And but I wanted more, and I thought if I can either join him, give it a go, and it's either going to be amazing or it won't, or stay as I am, and that'll be fine. So it was definitely, it was a risk, big risk, but
for sure.
But so far it's been, I've never looked back. So yeah.
So how does the balance work between the shop fitting business? Because obviously that's something that's always ongoing, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. So we've had to kind of slow that down recently. So I mean, that was like full on. We doubled turnover year on year. So Liam always set ambitious growth targets, but we always hit them. And about a year ago now, we got really fortunate where Homebase went bust. Fortunate for us, and we were working with the company that owns a range.
Yep.
And luckily, most of the Homebases converted into Range stores.
Yep.
There was one actually near where we are now that we did. So we ended up doing, I think in the space of 5 months, we ended up doing 45 store conversions and 20 rip outs, surveyed the whole lot, managed like the kit required and everything, So those 5 months were.
So what does that involve in terms of that sort of role? In terms of, are you procuring all the stuff and taking out the old, putting in the new, laying it all out, helping with the design as well?
Yeah. So working with the client, so it wasn't, without them it wouldn't work. But we would basically go in and survey the store as it was, see what kit there was and what kit was required. Obviously, the client would then manufacture and deliver all of that stuff, and then our job was to completely reconfigure the store into its new format.
Yeah.
Only doing the shelving and the tills and stuff like that. We weren't sparkies or plumbers and stuff, but all of basically as you walk in the store, everything on the centre floor, we were reconfiguring, building and putting it. So
to do so many shops, you need big teams, isn't it?
Yeah, we got up to about a year ago. We had just over 150 shop fitters.
Wow.
12?
From 12, yeah. So we went to 145. I think we was running about, at any one time, we was running about 20 stores at a time.
Yeah.
All of the UK, Ireland, Northern Ireland.
That's a big team. I mean, like 6 years, 12 to 150. That's big growth, isn't
it? Yeah. And it was mainly fueled by that project. So before that project, we was always running at about 45, 50 guys. That was our natural kind of level. And then that project required us to.
How did you find that role to lead a team, to have so many teams under your wing?
It's hard, I think in business, like the biggest challenge is, with people, vehicles, products, and we were dealing with all of those.
Yeah.
But so with the guys over time, replacing the ones that weren't good for us. So constantly trying to improve the workflow and retain the ones that we wanted. That method worked really, really well for us. And then what we implemented towards the end was really trusting the kind of team leader, supervisor on each job. So really making them accountable for that store, feeding everything through that one person, paying them more for doing that role, obviously. And then you've only got to really deal with one person as such, rather than, sometimes we had 15 people on a site. But you're only then you've got one point of contact rather than 15.
Yeah.
And that made it a lot more manageable, because then you might only have 20 conversations in a day rather than 150 conversations in a day. But I guess the counter to that is it's hard to then treat everybody as individuals as opposed to numbers. So, if guys ever wanted to ring us or pop into the office or whatever, we were working 24/7. Genuinely, we were working. Yeah, we had day teams, night teams, Saturday, Sundays. So we were literally just working.
I mean, that's the biggest pressure, isn't it? When you've got a big contract like that, that is a huge pressure to deal with that, and because the expectations and the timescales are always mega tight for each store.
Escape to luxury at Hempstead House Hotel and Spa, an elegant country house hotel in Bapchild near Sittingbourne, Kent. Relax with indulgent spa treatments. Dine in style with exquisite cuisine. Perfect for getaways, weddings and events. Experience luxury in the heart of Kent. Book your stay today.
Yeah, we had 2 weeks to do a store, and then there was a week handover. So when the merchandising team came, so basically every time we had the keys, we had 3 weeks till that store opened and fully started to trade. So we had about 14 days to do it, and then a week with the merch team where they would make changes and alterations depending on, so yeah, really, really tight, and so we basically had 3 stores starting every week, and then they would obviously overlap. for 5 months.
I just got one question now in my head. Obviously, from you, you had your sales, you were sales rep, doing your job, knowing what you're doing, and then you jump into this new journey where it's about all of you both need to start and to do all the planning and all this. How this works for you? Was it quite challenging in the beginning? Because I think it's lots of things in one that just two people need to do.
Yeah, I think the thing I struggled with. I mean, Liam was exactly the same. So when Liam started Keenwood, he'd come from completely different, similar story to me. Really, left school with no.
Like he needs to come as well here.
he would definitely come, but yeah, if you had both of us talking, we'd be here all day. But he's very similar. So sold motorbikes, sold sofas at DFS. So sales, and then came about because he was a project manager for a shop fitting client, and then he wanted to create his own company. Basically, he's always had the entrepreneur
mindset
that I don't have. So he's always had these visions. So I kind of live in today, and he lives in 6 months' time. If that makes sense. But no, it was really hard because at the beginning I didn't have a clue what anyone was talking about. Like they have all these stupid names for shelves and brackets, and you've got companies out there who've been doing it for 20, 25 years, so they can draw on their experience and, oh yeah, we done that project in the 90s, and I'm like, I've only been doing this a month, so I've got so it's hard to learn the kind of the terminology and just what
maybe
was...
You said earlier in this conversation one word, adaptivity. Maybe that played a big role, that you were quite keen to adapt, to learn and to do whatever you need.
Yeah, we would sit there, just the two of us in the early days, and trying to get more clients, and it took a while to get them on, but we knew that, we had a good core set of guys. We believed in what we wanted to do. So we knew we was going to get there. It's just obviously getting it to where we wanted to get it to. But in the end, I think we ended up with, we had about 22 clients when we finished. So
I think one of the qualities, particularly when you're in a sales role and in the role that you were doing, is that ability, as you said, to adapt. But also you're thinking on your feet constantly. You're thinking, like, you're hearing the conversation, you're reacting to it, you're thinking what you can do behind you to achieve that. You've got to instill confidence in the person in front of you, so you're building the trust. So all those things are constantly happening. And because of who you are, you're able to do that very effectively. And although you might look and think sideways, what other people will got all the experience, but you also naturally will come across confident and assured of what you're doing. Yeah. And you build that. And that's one of the things that
I think it was the same. Yeah, going back to the police, I think it was the same as when you'd go to a car crash with no information, and you have to very quickly assess what's happened. Is anyone injured? Try and stop the traffic, call for help, blah, 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 blah. I think it's exactly the same thing. So, if one of the guys rings up saying, "Oh, I'm not happy," he's working, he's in the middle of a night shift, and he rings up saying, "I'm not happy with my wages, I want more money, blah, 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 blah," which happens all the time in construction, then it's very quickly you've got to kind of keep him happy. Maybe we do pay him more money, but he's also got to complete the job he's currently on and not walk off. And stay in the hotel that night and not potentially cause any issues in there. So you'll instantly try and make a decision that's going to not affect the project, keep him happy. And so I think you're always getting put on the spot.
Yeah, because it's the skills of motivation, leadership, managing people, incentivizing people, isn't it? And those are the things that keep going, really.
Definitely. And I think one credit to Liam is he wanted to set us apart from the other shop fitting companies. So a lot of them typically didn't have a website, didn't have a logo, didn't have a brand, So it was a guy that was amazing at what he did, and his team were amazing. They're really, really good shop fitters, but nothing around them. Do you know what I mean? They didn't have an office, uniform. I think just little tiny things. And Liam always had this. He's always had it for all the companies where he's like, we need a brand, we need a logo, we need identity, we need a professional website, we need an office that's probably better than it needs to be, and we'll grow into that. And that's so far has worked really, really well. And I think that slowly that credibility started to slowly overtake some of the others. We had more accreditations than we needed. So rather than just like £5 million worth of insurance, we had 10. And those little decisions, I think, helped us stand out in the crowd. And it was just doing the best we could on every job, really. You know, it didn't all go well, but then we rectified our mistakes, and the client.
Like a great team, honestly.
It does work really well. And I think where we're completely different, like I say, he's the business owner, and then I just try and bring the journey to life, basically. So I think it does work. It does work really, really well.
You mentioned a few times that a bit like in the past you were talking. Is it because you slowed down that business a little bit at the moment, or?
Yeah. So we started funding Unlocked about a year and a half ago now, I think, basically, like the finance brokerage company, lending company.
What is that about?
So that basically is, we've just got, it started because we were borrowing money as a business, you know, which is quite a healthy thing to do. I think like 40% of businesses borrow money. And Liam just wanted to ensure that we were getting the best rates. And he thought, well, if I start my own brokerage company, then I'll know I'm getting the best rates. And then he's like, well, then I could help others, any company out there that needs to borrow money, you know, secured, unsecured, etc. Then we could do that, and that's what we do. So if there's any business out there that needs to explore any borrowing needs or options, and we put it in front of our panel. It's not our money, it's, you know, obviously their money. We're just a broker, and then we earn on the back of every deal. So that's where that one started from. But the decision last year really was, I mean, Keenwood's still going. I think we're probably going to do a job next month where we're painting the Women's Golf Open. So Keenwood's still going, but we couldn't run Keenwood at full capacity and try and grow it yet again, you know, year on year, and start Letterverse. So Liam wanted to start Letterverse, this time last year. And we had to make a decision basically where we would just burn ourselves out. Do you know what I mean? So kind of slowed Keenwood down a little bit to then give Letterverse the biggest amount of focus.
Let's talk more about that. Please explain us. What is exactly Letterverse?
could be here.
Because I don't understand. It's really interesting. I look on your website as well. You do all that, and then it says completely free.
Yes.
So Letterverse.
How and why?
So what does it do first of all? So for our lovely, amazing guests,
what does it do, and why is it free of charge?
Yeah.
Yes, and what is your, obviously because it's your business, what you're earning from that?
Yeah.
That's why earlier I didn't know what to say about, are they your customers or what it is? So that's why you are here.
This is the hardest bit. This is the hardest part of my job at the moment, because whenever you create something new, and it is genuinely new, it's so hard to get people, you know, to understand what we do. So what Liam worked out was traditional 3D tours that estate agents use, obviously really, really well, Matterport. Liam wondered if you clicked on the telly, could it play you a video, or could you change the color of the walls, etc. And it wasn't really out there, to be honest with you. So he's kind of took a long time, has worked out a way of doing that now. So as you explore a 3D space in virtual reality on your laptop or phone, everything comes to life. So there's photos, videos, audio, everything. And then to turn that, which is quite cool, to turn it into a business model, Liam was like, well, let's do it. Let's work with sports and charities to start with. So we have like a virtual stadium tour for a football club, or if a charity hasn't got a space, we'll build them a bespoke space out of basically CGI. We'll create them a space. So we're creating these 3D virtual worlds for sports and charities.
So it's like a building or a stadium.
Yep.
Or
even where we are, this hotel, they can have like a 3D.
Yes.
But not the usual 3D that you've got. This is
so we would scan this the same as this as an example. We'd scan this the same as anybody else out there, which is really helpful for the hotel. The difference is with us, I don't know if you've seen any of ours. If you click the fireplace, it would start to set a light. There'd be a fire. If you could change that sofa, you could change the color of that sofa to a different color. If you pressed on a radio, if there was a radio player, you know, it would start playing your music. So the whole thing becomes fully interactive. So it's effectively a 3D website. It's a website people can walk through.
Okay, so let's say I'll use Hampstead House as an example. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. So let's say they come, you do that for them, for free?
No.
Oh,
Only
okay.
we could in theory do it for here, but today there'd have to be a sports club,
Or
sports
charity.
venue, or a charity. Yeah.
Which is at the moment what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the
West Kent Shooting's a great example.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, West Kent Shooting.
Yep.
So you create that, and whatever you create, they put it on their website.
Yeah,
Is that for, or what is for? What they gonna use for?
So they can embed it in their website if they choose. It's on our website. So it's on our Letterverse platform, basically. So West Kent Shooting, people could go there on their laptop or phone, walk around the whole venue and see it. As it exists in real life. The difference being is, as you walk through the clubhouse, it would come up saying contact information, all of the prices and packages that they do.
Okay.
On every trap, it would show you a video of somebody.
What is happening?
Yeah, where the clay's come from.
That absolutely sounds amazing, because like that place which we visited not long ago, it just gives you the idea what is exactly.
It gives it helps visualize 100% what you're going to do when you get there and how good it is.
Yeah, I think there's definitely merit to having just a standard 3D tour to see the venue before you visit. But it's more powerful if, like Gillian obviously owns that. If Gillian was standing behind reception and you press a play button and Gillian welcomes you to the venue, that's more powerful. And the bar menu, you actually have the bar menu in full. The whole thing would come to life. So it'd be the history, upcoming events, prices, the whole everything.
And does need to be somehow, once it's done, it stay on the platform, yours, theirs, or you need to upgrade sometimes and update.
Do we need to rescan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of the issue is every time you scan a venue, it's instantly out of date. Because they'd only have to move one thing and it's suddenly not quite in line.
Yeah.
So to a degree, they're 98%. Like at the minute, Gillian's just put up these amazing hanging baskets out the front. They weren't there when we scanned them. Do you see what I mean? So there's slight differences between reality and
but the major, most important things are there.
But some of our venues, I mean, like Hawkins Cricket Club, have just done an extension. So that's quite important. We'll need to go and rescan that. Bradford Bulls last year, when they went into the Super League, they've rebranded. So they've completely changed their logo, and the whole stadium looks completely different. So we'd need to rectify that before we launched it, because they're just worlds apart at the moment.
So where is the business model and earning here?
Yeah, so
you can talk about that.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, of course. So any sport or charity, as long as they've got a reasonably decent social media following, get it completely free of charge. So they'll never pay us anything. They also receive half of any revenue that we do make. So with West Kent Shooting, just to stay on that example, they haven't paid us a penny. They never will. They get half of any revenue that we make as well. So the money goes back to the venue.
But how you make the revenue?
So we make money through effectively digital advertising within the space. So same as in real life, if you was to walk through a football stadium, you'd have all the
billboards everywhere.
Yeah, billboards everywhere on the shirts, etc. The unique bit of us is if you press that billboard, it will come up with a full web page and an inquiry form to that company. So rather than just subliminal, static advertising, which definitely has a merit, I'm not knocking it. You can find out exactly what that company does, all about them, and then be able to contact them as well.
Perfect.
So we then make money through that and give back to the host.
Wow, that's now sounds really. Gosh, your brother really got things.
Well, he had this amazing idea, and then he had to kind of he came up with the concept, and then had to turn it into a business, if that makes sense.
And was it the same that he had the idea how it's gonna look, and then he needed to work out back how to get to there?
Yeah, I mean, it was in a way, it's kind of the how it's come about was he cracked this bit of tech. And then what he didn't want to do is exclude everybody from it. So he didn't want to make it super expensive, start charging users to go on there, etc. So he thought, well, the easiest way of doing that is just make it free. So give it away for free to sports and charities. We take on all of the tech and stuff, so they don't have to worry about any tech knowledge or know-how or a team of tech experts and stuff like that. And he eliminated the time aspect as well, because we do all the work. So apart from some content and information here and there, we do 95% of the work as well. So the venue just don't really have to do anything, which eliminates a lot of the barriers to entry. And then we obviously have to chat to the companies about being involved and show them there's a different way of advertising. I see it all the time, and I'm not knocking. I don't want to ever knock my competitors, but as I drive past roundabouts, there's companies advertise on roundabouts, and I'm sure it might be good, might not be, you don't know. But by the time I drive past it, I can't read it, let alone the phone number or the website. So it doesn't work for me as a user. Now, if I could click on something and it tells me quickly about it and I could inquire, I think they'd get a better return on investment.
Well, you're actually choosing the good thing with that is you're actually choosing the businesses and the partners you want to work with as a consumer, which is also really important, because there are some things that come up. I mean, like Google's pretty smart at working out what we all might want to, because based on what we look at and visualize. But actually, there are things in static advertising. It's like watching adverts on the television. You get adverts for all sorts of stuff come up, and you think, well, that's not relevant, or that's not relevant. But you're actually choosing and working then with the people who potentially you're really looking at that particular time. Yeah, definitely. Which is very valuable to the.
I think so, and I think it's proper analytics as well. I think even with TV advertising, everybody might have gone to the kitchen, or everybody sat there and watched. You don't know. You don't know. And even, we've advertised in places before with Keenwood Limited, and you don't know how many people have looked, and you don't know how many inquiries have come from that bit of advertising. But with us, you can tell how many people have been on the platform, how long they were on there for, where they've visited, and what they've clicked. So you can get proper analytics. And if it's not working, we could just pick them up and move them and put them somewhere else in the tour. Maybe that's a busier area that they need to be in. And also, I mean, with Letterverse, the good thing is if we do a football stadium, like we're working with Rochester City FC, Sittingbourne FC, and Billericay Town, all the companies in there get free advertising with Letterverse because they're all there by default. So they're all getting shown anyway. It's just whether or not they want to make it interactive. That's when they would pay us to do that.
And once they see what it'll do, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I think now that we've got companies on board, we've got some great companies on board, we only need one or two per venue. And then others start to go. It's that kind of it's that envy, isn't it? It's that kind of fear of missing out. I think it's called. People go, well, if they've got it, we kind of really need to do it, and that's slowly starting to turn now, which is really good.
Are you planning to scale that and to make it available to other businesses? Obviously, maybe they will need to pay on that occasion.
Yeah.
But for the future, are you planning, or you want?
Yeah. So within 3 years, we'll have 500. Tours. So we want it to be like I say, it's just my wording, it's like a TikTok of venues. So you go on there and you've just got a load of cool sports and charity venues, and you can just keep exploring, At the minute, most of them are in Kent, obviously because of where we're based, and we're going to slowly start moving further afield. But so we'll end up with 500 venues. And as we call it, phase 2, we will then end up doing a 3D shopping centre. We want to do a 3D exhibition hall, and we want to do a wedding fair, some sort of wedding, a wedding fair as well. So,
where you don't need to go to a specific place, you sit where you are, and you've got all these different businesses. Yeah,
so the shopping centre would be like same as you go online at the minute, and you can obviously do loads of online shopping, but you can't. There's not one place where you can do multiple shopping online. So you have to go on each individual website. But if you could enter a big shopping centre with 20, 30, 40, 50 companies there, potentially with a shared basket as well, then you can do proper online shopping.
Gosh, that sounds like...
You could almost do clothes shopping then, because you could almost have an image of you and like...
You could change your clothes. You could change the size, you change the colour, the shirt, then match it with
there's going to be lots of hard work for you guys. But
that's why we call it phase. That's why we call it phase 2. We're like but no, Liam's working on all that at the moment. So to answer your question, so we want, rather than going to an exhibition like a trade show for the weekend, physically go there and have a look around, and then it's ripped down and it's gone. We'll have a 24/7 one that you can go on online, just walk up and down.
And do you know what? I think that's absolutely genius, because I think if you think, I think about like a shop, a showroom for like a particular business, and you're walking around, you're looking around the products, and you see all the different products all lined out, and then you're looking at a product, and then you click on it, it tells you all about that particular product. It's mega powerful.
And one thing that we all struggle nowadays called time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think as well, because it's virtual reality, you can make it up. So rather than a shop with one brand, or because obviously that's how shops work. We could be different. You could have the top 10 sellers from that company in that aisle, and the top 10 sellers from that company in that aisle. And you can actually start to blend it together. So they're not competing. You're actually just giving consumers choice in one space. So yeah, like virtual product placements come in, white labeling, e-commerce is definitely coming. So eventually it'll be that we'll be able to actually transact. So people could actually book West Kent Shooting School through our platform. So
look, it sounds like a very big project, and that now I understand why you need to have most. Is it just two of you at the moment on that?
No. We've got a great team. So there's in Letterverse, there's 4 of us today. And the reason it seems quite small is because the only way we're going to get it to where we need to is by automating as much as we can. So I think humans are amazing at certain things, you know what I mean? But the more we can automate behind the scenes, the better. So again, what Liam's working on at the moment is to try to eliminate those things that are taking a lot of time. So we were saying earlier about social media posts, taking could take 2 hours, 3 hours for a 30-second post. If we could automate that and eliminate that and free that time up for something else, that's how we can then truly scale. So you've always got to physically scan the venue, but the processes after that, can they be sped up? Can they be automated? Or can you build it out of CGI so you don't have to scan the venue? Can you just recreate it without ever going there in the first place? Then you've got something powerful.
Well, then you can literally use a drawing of the building, a scale drawing, and
rebuild it.
And rebuild it. And lay out exactly.
And update it quicker. Because So that's what we're up to. Yeah.
Sounds really innovative, and I haven't seen anything like that. So if anyone listening want to explore more about it, they can just visit your website, and they can see all the projects.
So if on Letterverse.co.uk, we've got all the people we're working with. Like, it's got some great people. We've also got all the companies that are being shown within the tours. You can check them out.
And if anyone wants to be shown in the tours, contact you.
I'm always like LinkedIn. I think my phone number's. I think it's all out there. You can find my number on my email or LinkedIn. But definitely.
Is that restricting people to be just in Kent in UK, or doesn't really matter?
No.
We are talking about.
Definitely. I mean, I'm chatting to some. I won't say who they are because I haven't signed up yet. But no, I'm chatting to a sports club in Northern Ireland at the moment. We have just had a Lithuanian racing driver join the platform. So we basically done saw e-karting in Medway.
Which is awesome.
But then to give that, to really make the tour kind of come alive, we're going to have pro racing drivers in there talking and giving tips and stuff like that. Same as with the golf. We've done a whole golf course, the Ridge in Maidstone. We've already got one pro golfer that will guide people around and explain how the course plays and give them tips and stuff. So that's to try and really increase the user experience. But no, so we're already starting to slowly move outside of England.
Limiting only UK.
I mean, there's no limit to, is there? Like, as you say, I just think there's thousands of opportunities. Like, whether it's a sport ground, whether it's like a motor racing circuit, whether it's go-karting, whether it's like horse racing. I don't know, like every single venue. And the thing is, like, even hotels and restaurants and stuff. Having a view around and then going to the menu and seeing I wonder what that is. And you literally click on that meal, and there's you see what you're going to get. I mean, you go, I've got to go there because that's what I want.
It's different. It's just a brand new. I think that the estate agents in particular have done amazing with the 3D tours. Now if you look at a house listing, it's pretty much pretty much a given that you need to walk around the house. So we're just applying that to different new sectors. Basically. So
sounds good. How do you? Obviously, you said when you have the time, and we hope you find the time in the weekend for your family. what do you like to do? How you recharge yourself?
Mhm.
What is, even for yourself, do you find time to
Yeah, it's really.
do something?
Yeah, I think it's really sad, but I love spending time with family. I like cooking. I like eating, and I love gardening. So if I'm out in the garden, just pottering about,
That's your,
switch off.
yeah, then that's what I really enjoy. Golf if I can. I do like playing golf, but I don't play that often. But yeah, just relax really. I don't watch a lot of telly too much at the minute. Obviously, I will watch the football games obviously at the minute.
yeah.
But no, I'm out tonight with a few friends, which is nice. And then I don't know what I've got planned for Father's Day tomorrow. They're keeping it a surprise.
Yeah,
No.
So
that's nice.
we're doing something
But,
tomorrow.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just and then back to work properly on Monday.
And how the work, obviously, with the family member,
Mhm.
brother,
Mhm.
how, obviously, if you keep doing projects, that means it's okay. But does this make your connection better, or did you have these moments where it's?
I think it's just changed. I think we were genuinely not only brothers, we were best mates anyway. And I think it's definitely, you don't have quality time together anymore. So you end up just always talking about work, and nothing else really. Even when you see each other at Christmas, you end up talking about work. But I think the biggest benefit of working together is trust. Do you know what I mean? Like there will be a new business in the future, and I trust his judgment on that. Do you know what I mean? And I think with me, he trusts that. Even today, like, the things I say and position it and stuff, that I've always got the company's best interests at heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's it's so important. If you can trust your co-workers, your staff, or whatever, and that's even going back to Keenwood Limited. If you can trust your guys, mostly guys, it's so important. Without that, you've got nothing. Now, if they tell you on site and they're not, you can't work with that. So trust is everything.
Did anyone play the role of inspiration for you so far? Someone that doesn't matter. It might be someone through the books, through podcasts, person from family, from
no, my dad really. Only my dad. Yeah, just where he, again, just a normal job, just a normal. But he always worked. Worked really, really hard. And I always put the family first. He's retired now. Do you know what I mean? But just him really. Like, my mum didn't work, so I can't use her as a work reference. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
she did work, but
yeah. The example that
she probably had the harder job bringing us up, to be honest with you. But
not,
no, but work.
Thing.
No, but work. I mean, work-wise, 100%. Like, he always worked really, really hard and just gave us as much.
Is he like an advisor to you both now?
Yeah, he's a shareholder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's now come on. He's on the board. So we got a board meeting next Tuesday. So
executive chairman.
That's it. Yeah. So no, dad'll be there. So no, we've got a really good board and cap table. Do you know what I mean? And there's some great people that have invested that they all bring something to the party. So great if we want to pick up the phone and ask for any advice and stuff. And that goes back to people being better at things than you are. Do you know what I mean? It's great to be able to ring someone and just say, look, what would you do? Is this a good idea? Is this stupid? Or how would you crack this? It's so powerful. Do you know what I mean? But no, certainly work-wise, my dad, bringing up the kids, my mum. I hate to admit it. So yeah.
And you've got, just before we finish, you've got someone working for you with absolutely the same name as you.
Sam, yeah.
How you managed that? I remember. I think, was it me?
Yeah.
I think I was speaking with him. He said, he was on LinkedIn. I'm not sure. He said, it's not about me, it's the other family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How often you've got that?
Yeah, no, it's a nightmare. So like, the biggest one was, it's always like emails and phone calls. They're always like, I emailed Sam or I phoned Sam, and I'm like, you didn't. You definitely didn't. But yeah, so I'm Sam at Letterverse and he's operations at Letterverse. I think that's So that helps.
Quite,
it's not. I need to try and change his. I need to try and change his name. I think. Yeah.
You need to have.
Well, I'm like Samuel really, but I'm refusing to use. I'm not using that. No.
Only on documents you are like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to desperately. I'm slowly changing that with time as well. See if I can change my driver license. Yeah.
Awesome.
So what's next on the journey?
So funding really is just that will continue. So the more inquiries we get, we will knock them out of the park. So that that will continue as it is pretty much. But again, trying to automate that as much as we can. And then with Letterverse now, really, the two main things for us is we need more sports and charities to come on board. Only stipulation is that social media, because that fuels our platform. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we need to keep an eye on that. It's the only stipulation really, and more companies seeing the value in what we do. So yeah, it doesn't matter. We've got people we've got builders, cooling towers, decorators. We've got an electrician, water treatment company have just signed up. So just any company out there that's thinking, you know, this is a new way of doing it, and we could give that a go or explore it. I think it's definitely worth a comparison to say, look, this is what we're currently doing, and this is Letterverse, and there's some merit in it. Definitely worth having that conversation. So
the good thing that you mentioned, they can have the actual, what was the word? Oh, the figures, how many people were looking on there and how many people are interested, which is quite good nowadays.
And we've got that belief again. We know if we look back in 2-3 years' time, it'll be massive, it'll be so big.
Because that'll give huge traceability as well, which is really powerful.
It's going to be massive. Yeah. It's just now back to the beginning of Keenwood. We've now got to get it to that stage. So that all that work is that's what we're doing at the moment.
Excellent.
That's what's next.
Sam, thank you very much.
Before we finish, we've got the brilliant book from Dr. Rand. I don't know if you met him, maybe not. It's a brilliant guy, and it's a very easy reading book. Quick Wake Up to Pilot. I'm sure you and Liam will enjoy it.
I love it.
And it's something for the mindset, and
and it's that easy reading as well.
Good.
Nice addition to your great work life.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, Sam, very much for coming to us this morning. I hope everyone's enjoyed listening and learning all about Sam and Letterverse and what he's doing in the background.
Save this episode and just watch this space into 3 years' time.
Yeah, because it could be taking over your television and your internet anytime soon.
Thanks for having me today.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, please do give us a like. Please do subscribe to the channel. And
also, if you like our projects and all these incredible people, please buy us a coffee on the link below so we can keep doing that and bring more and more inspirational people. Thank you, and see you next time.
See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.